Good evening, everybody. It's Hoz. I just wanted to do a quick podcast, and it's about Palestine action. And you need to call it what it is. They call it a protest. They call it vandalism. They call it extreme. But I'll tell you what, I really, as far as I'm concerned, is the sound of consciousness breaking through the noise. Palestine Action isn't a charity. It's not here for tea and petitions. They're not looking for permission from anyone. They're actually the consequence of a country that has backed genocide. Then they get to call Palestine Action terrorists. They're actually the fire alarm of our consciousness. That's what they are, the fire alarm of our humanity. While kids are starving in tents under drones, Britain is sitting here guarding Elbit's factory zones. The bombs are falling and we fund them. The eyes in the sky, we run them from this country. The drones they use are done from this country. So when a group of young people spray paint a wall, it's not defacement. It's actually a moral call. It's asking us to wake up as a nation. Because silence is legal. And murder becomes statecraft. Then breaking the rules is the only righteous path left to us. And these young people are willing to put themselves in harm's way to do what's right for the country. And it is a righteous disruption that they're doing. You don't get 350 actions by accident. You get them because everyone else has failed. Society has failed. Laws have failed. Letters have been ignored. Marches got mocked. MPs clapped genocide and called it's a complex issue. So Palestine Action broke the script. They didn't ask. They didn't beg. They kicked the doors off instead. Because when your taxes fund a drone, that drone kills a child, then the real crime is doing nothing, sitting there doing fuck all. They've locked themselves to gates, painted blood on glass, smashed the machines. They've built murder for mass. That's what they've done. They've built these machines for mass murder. Every Elbit site, every Thales floor, they shut them down to shut the war, and they do it with hands, not with weapons, with paint, with bombs. And they don't kill. All they're doing is trying to disrupt the ones who do this. And still they get branded as terrorists. According to this new legislation, they're going to get called terrorists for doing the right thing. They're not taking lives here, but they're daring to interrupt the business of ending it. How dare they try and stop people making money and committing genocide through weaponries that have been built here, monitored from here, and actually are being driven by people on computers and laptops from Britain, killing people in Gaza. So let's just call it clear. This is not chaos. This is absolute clarity. This is what resistance looks like when you finally stop asking politely, when you've been ignored by every single other thing. Hundreds of thousands of people have marched on London, millions across the country. Nothing has stopped Israel from doing what it's doing. This direct action is stopping and helping to stop this. And you guys need to understand that there are groups of people, such as the Filton 18, who are suffering lawfare at the moment. And what they're doing to them is not justice. You know, if you understand, if paint on a wall gets you labelled a threat, but bombing a school gets you no regret, and then don't tell me that this is justice, because it isn't. This is fear, dressed in a wig and a robe by a judge. They've arrested the Filton 18 like they'd found a sleeper cell or something. But the only thing they were plotting was to stop Britain fueling hell on earth. Terror charges for blocking drones? For spraying red on Elbit's floors? Their stones got coloured red? This isn't national security. It's corporate security. It's the arms dealers writing this policy. It's the state producing murder and punishing people for having morals. They've been held in prison since August. No sentence, no trial, just silence. Why? Because they want others to see that this is what happens when you fuck around with this industry. You'll sit in a cell. You'll not go before a court, and they're going to get you to rot before the court. Because it's not about justice in this country. It's about supporting the war effort on a bunch of brown people miles away. The poor Palestinians, the kids. And this Labour Party, its hands are not clean either. Yvette Cooper is already queuing up right now, today, to put a ban in. They want to prescribe Palestine action, as if paint cans are an IED or something. But ask yourself this. If resisting genocide makes you a criminal, then what does it make the ones fueling it? All those people who are sitting in Westminster who do nothing about it, what does that make them? Because locking up the loudest doesn't make you just. It just makes you scared, shitless fucks. That's what you are. You're scared of the truth that paint exposes. Scared that someone finally said no more and they meant it. That's what these kids are about. They're about putting their lives and their liberty on the line because it matters to them. And you need to understand, you people in Westminster that are coming up with these laws, complicity has a postcode. And let's be absolutely clear. This isn't just about Gaza. It's about Leicester. It's about Bristol. It's about London postcodes, where death gets manufactured 9 to 5. Drones don't just fall from the heavens. They fall from factories. And in Britain, we build the parts. From the wings to the wires. From the cameras to the code. British hands assemble these tools that haunt Palestinian skies every day. We've got RAF surveillance flights from Cyprus. 500 and counting operating from Cyprus. Watching and feeding intel, guiding strikes. They killed our own, the charity workers who were in Gaza. This machinery and this weaponry helped do that. And the spyware that stalks families in Rafah, it's all from here. It's coded here. It's tested here. Shipped out like it's just another product line. Like it's a yogurt or something. And while we debate in decorum, Gaza's running out of blood bags. It's running out of flour. And it's running out of children. But don't worry, Elbit's quarterly earnings are still up. So when Palestine Action smashes a window, it's not destruction. It's diagnosis. They're actually showing us where the cancer lives. These aren't extremists. They're the immune system reacting the only way left to it when the body politics in our country is riddled with absolute abject rot. That's what this country of ours has come to, that it takes these young people to get us anywhere. So when consciousness becomes a human crime, this isn't just a story of protest. It's actually a story of betrayal of a government that swapped its consciousness and our consciousness for a contract. And now they want to make feeling something illegal. They want to outlaw grief. They want to criminalize the scream of a nation. Because Palestine Action didn't wait for permission. They acted. And that terrifies the state more than any Molotov cocktail ever could. Because if there's kids and you can't shut them down, they are here to stay. If these kids are willing to shut down the drone lines and the way they've been built, then what excuse do the rest of us here in society have? You've seen the videos. We've watched these bodies. We've read the reports, and still our government did nothing. They didn't do anything. They didn't break the silence. They didn't raise the alarm. They made Britain complicit, visibly complicit. One smashed lock, one banner drop, one red smear at a time. And for that, the system's coming down on them like they're in the like they are the war criminals of the universe. Like they've dropped white phosphorus. 14 years for a protest? A lifetime of stigma for trying to stop genocide? Let that sink into your heads. All they want to do is make an example of them, so they don't have to make an example of Israel. So here's the choice. Do we stand with the law that enables slaughter of people, or with the people who try to stop it? Here's my closing statement. Okay, and the reason I'm doing it as a short one is because I don't want to do a 50-minute one for you, yeah? You need to understand, history has no bystanders in it. They say this about order, about security, about protecting the public. But who protects the child beneath the rubble? Who defends the doctor shot at the gate? Who speaks for the family crushed in the food line? Who is being targeted by tanks, by drones, because they are starving to death and trying to get food in a kill box? By a missile with a part that has got a British serial number on it. Palestine Action has spoken, but not with bombs, not with bullets, but with their bodies, with their liberty, with their freedoms. They've laid across runways, gates and court floors. And for that, we're now going to call them terrorists? Then fine, call them what you want. But know this, if paint is terrorism, then silence is actual murder. If Britain can ban the brave and back the butchers, which is all we've done since the 8th or 9th of October, then it's not just foreign policy. It's an absolute moral collapse of our civil society. So no, I am not going to condemn Palestine Action. I'm going to thank them for reminding me and everyone else that resistance still exists, that the resistance that is being shown by them as an example for every other person in this country, that the streets that we walk on, march on, they still speak, and that not all of us were bought off, scared off, or sold out to Israel. You don't have to agree with every tactic they do, but if you can't see the justice in their cause, then you need to ask yourself who you are and what you've become in the last 20 months. History will not remember the quiet. It remembers those who stood up. And when the last child's name is read and the war criminals finally face this dock, which they surely must, let it be said there were some in Britain who refused to be complicit. And it is the name of every single person that has stood up for the children of Gaza, and all of them are the people that have been working with Palestine Action. I'm not going to go longer than that. I'm going to leave it as that. I just want to say thank you for listening. And if you can, you need to make sure that you talk to your MP and to anyone else who's got anything to do with this legislation that's about to be brought in, which is a draconian law. You do something about it. We cannot afford to have this happen. This is civil society's right to demonstrate and protest against murder being basically codified as illegal to protect the state of Israel in what is effectively permission to genocide people. That's where we're at, people. You need to all get together, wake up, and we need to make sure we support the Palestine Action people, including all the legal people, as in like the ones who are sitting behind it, and the teams on the ground. And you need to get out there and support at every time when these kids are going to court. We need to be there to support them. Thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.